Hello, Brighter Choice second grade scholars. Today is Wednesday, April 1st. This is ELA Mini lesson number 8. We are continuing to focus on main idea and details in nonfiction texts this week, and today we will be using a strategy called Notice What Repeats. Our learning target for today is I can identify the main idea of a nonfiction text by noticing details that repeat. And today we're going to be looking at another National Geographic Kids nonfiction text on Epic. First, I'm going to read a part of the text to you and show you how I can notice details that repeat and use that to help give me more information about what the main idea of the text is. Thinking back to our lesson from yesterday, the what and the so what, we were talking about a topic and then what the author wants to say about the topic. We can use that strategy from yesterday and combine it with today's strategy to help us write a really concrete sentence to explain what the main idea of the text is. So remember, the topic is the what, the subject of the text. What is the author teaching you about? And the so what, or the main idea, is what does the author want you to understand about the topic? So we are going to first identify the topic in the text, and I'm going to show you how I will notice some details that repeat. It could be words that repeat, phrases that repeat, or even some details that are repeating in the photographs or pictures in a text. And I will use those and what I know about the topic to help me come up with a sentence to explain the main idea of a section of a text. So our text for today is Bees by Laura Marsh. So remember, when I'm reading nonfiction, I do not need to read the entire text. I can read certain parts of it that would interest me, things that I want to know more about the topic. So the topic of this text is bees. I'm going to go ahead and add that onto my note catcher. So I'm looking at the table of contents and identifying a section of the text that I would like to learn more about. I'm going to go to the section of the text called Helpful Bees, and that starts on page 6. So here we are, Helpful Bees. So I know that my topic is going to be bees, and I need to find out what the author wants me to learn about bees on this page. So I'm going to be noticing details that repeat. It could be words that are said over and over again, or it could be ideas that are coming up again and again. Helpful bees. Bees help both people and plants. Oh, I already noticed something that repeated. The word help. Helpful Bees is the title of this section of the text, and this first sentence says, bees help both people and plants. I'm going to go back to my graphic organizer and record that detail. So in my chart, I'm just going to record the word hopeful. Let's go back to the text and see if we can find any other details that repeat. Honeybees make honey and beeswax. People use these things in lots of ways. Oh, well, that again connects back to this first sentence about bees helping people. Bees help people because they make things that people use. I can go back and add that detail too. Oops. Bees make things that people can use. Let's look back at the text. All kinds of bees help plants make seeds. Oh, there's that word help again. And they help plants make something just like bees help people make things. So I want to add that detail as well. Bees help plants make seeds. Seeds can grow into new plants. Some of those plants give us fruits and vegetables. We can thank bees for strawberries, apples, almonds, tomatoes, and many other foods. Now, this part is a little bit different. I have to kind of make an inference about how bees are helpful in this part of the text. So, on this page, we talked about how honeybees can make honey and beeswax. We can use beeswax to make candles and cleaning supplies, and honey is a sweet and delicious treat. So we use those products right from the beeswax or the honey. Now, this part of the text said that bees help plants make seeds, and seeds can grow into new plants. So, when bees help plants make seeds, those seeds can grow into fruits and vegetables that we can eat. That's another way that bees are helpful to humans. I can make a connection to something I already know about bees and attach it to what the text just talked about as well. So I know that when bees help plants make seeds, they do that through pollination. And we learned about that in ELA before we had a break. So I could say bees are pollinators that help plants produce fruits and vegetables because I remember that when bees pollinate plants, the plants produce seeds and also they produce fruit after they can become pollinated. So, bees are pollinators that help plants produce fruits and vegetables. And I'm going to add a detail onto that humans and animals can eat. So now I'm thinking about the information that we've gathered and what we've noticed that repeated on this section of the text. Our topic is bees, but what does the author want us to know about bees? We noticed that helpful repeated, or bees make things, or they help plants make things. Bees help plants produce food that humans can eat. So, what can we say is the main idea of this section of the text? So, I could say that the main idea of this text is that bees are helpful, but I think I could do a better job of adding an extra detail to explain how bees are helpful. Let me think about what the text said that's important. Bees produce things that people can use. Either we can use products from the bees, either the beeswax from their hives or the honey that they make, but they're also helpful to people because they can help grow food for us. And it says right here in the text, we can thank bees for strawberries, apples, almonds, tomatoes, and many other foods. So, this part, yes, bees are helpful to plants, but why is that important to us? It's important because by helping the plants are able to make food for us. Bees are helpful insects because this word helps me give a reason. Bees are helpful insects because they make things that people can use, including food. All right, scholars, now it's your turn to have a try. We are going to be using the same book, Bees, so your topic will stay the same. I'm going to read a section of the text, and I want you to look for details that repeat. You can jot those details down on a piece of scrap paper. Then, think about what does the author want you to know about the topic? You'll know some details are important because the author is going to state them again and again. Just like in our last example, the author kept stating that bees were helpful. You can complete this activity for the section of the text that I read out loud on the video, or feel free to go on Epic and find a different section of the text that's interesting to you. This section of the text is called Pollen Power. Remember to notice details that repeat. You could use the title of this section or the heading to help you get an idea of what the main idea could be. When a bee lands on a flower, the flower's pollen rubs off on the bee. Pollen sticks to tiny hairs on the bee's body. Ooh, here's an important word for us to know. This text is calling it a buzzword. Pollen is a sticky yellow powder made by flowers. This bee has pollen all over its body. When the bee travels to another flower, pollen from the bee brushes off onto the new flower. This is called pollination. Now the new flower can start to make seeds. Pause the video on this section of the text. Remember, you're looking for details that repeat. Think about details that you see in the photographs. Think about words or ideas that the author brings up again and again. Your job is to record the details that repeat and use that to help you write a main idea sentence. We have another 2 pages for this section of the text. Remember to think about details that repeat. A bee's leg has special hairs that form a basket. The bee brushes pollen into the basket. Then it flies back to the nest. This pollen is used as food for baby bees. Here's an empty pollen basket. Here, these pollen baskets are filled with pollen. Only female bees have them. Bees collect nectar from flowers too. They drink nectar with their tongues. Some bees make honey out of nectar. These bees are called honeybees. Another buzzword. Love these nonfiction text features. Nectar, a sweet, sugary juice that flowers make. Epic has so many nonfiction texts for you to explore. After you've completed today's assignment, see if you can determine the main idea from another text. Happy reading!